How is it going, fourth year students? Um, Before I start with this electronic lesson, I'd just like to tell you about how saddened we are by the news of the demise and the passing away of your colleague. C'est la vie, as French people say, this is life, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant him the highest position in paradise. So, what about this electronic lesson? Electronic lesson is about intentional tort. In the previous lesson, if you remember, that is, we talked about unintentional tort. Okay, we talked about unintentional tort. Tort means ihmal, okay? Ihmal. So, if we talk about this, I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Anyways, I'm not going to answer. Intentional tort. In the previous lesson, we talked about unintentional tort. In this lesson, we talk about intentional one. Now, intentional one is when someone intentionally wants to cause harm to a particular party. And when I say party, it could be an individual, it could be a group of people, it could be a company, it could be anything that forms the concept or the notion of party. Some of the things which are included in the intentional torts law, sorry about this, is one is defamation, second is harm to person, harm to property, and auto accident. Intentional torts are misconducts, and they could be serious crimes. وكما قلتي كو intentional tort بعمد إهمال كرنا بمرمى خرابية تماما عمد قصدي عن قصد تشتكي بكت مرمى كهندنا خرابية. One of the things is defamation. إيش وقت تشتا عمد بيني defamation. بكرديد بيجيني ريرش كرن أنجي كيم كرنا دنگويان. If you want to, let's suppose, harm the image that is perceived of a person, let's say you post something online about this person's character, which could damage their reputation. Defamation وكما قلتي كو ريرش كرنا اگر ها تو شو تو رابطه پوستا کل سرکسه کی اینا خاره او پوستا چه دلو تدابن چه راستی تدابن اشهار تدابیتن اشهار مرا مهنده کو مقصده که خراب بگهین تبی کسی او بینی defamation, and it's part of the intentional tort law. او بینی تشهیر آنجید بینی ریرش کرن و بشک شتشتیش قانون اهمال intentional tort یا عمدی طبعا intentional یا عمدیه که في حالت داد مقصده که تو کسکی آزار بکی شلایه کرکتری و شخصیت به او ایک شد شد. That was the first thing. The second is harm to person. زیان بخشین بو کسی بو کسی. In this case, let's suppose sorry about me coughing into the mic. Make sure you're not wearing any headphones. جوری دوی زیان بخشین بکسی بخو. In this case, the person is trying or aiming at harming the person physically. في حالة إذا أفكاسة دي محاولة كسكي عمدا إيشينيت شلاي جستيفة لشيفة. For instance, let me give you an example. Suppose you're trying to run into someone with a car. Even if you do not hit the person, even if you do not collide with this person. Well, collide is a big word to use in describing a person hit by a car, but still. If they're hit by the car, that's also intentional tort. This is a really, really serious offense. Although it's intentional tort, but it's a crime. It's not only a misconduct. This, you either hit them, that's a crime, or you steer the other way once you reach close to the person, that you frighten them. That's also considered as intentional tort. بونمونه حكومة قلتي زيان بخشي بكسكي harm to person أو أجهاتو شو من كسك لسه شرعي دي وبكسس حاجة نوكم من صار وصل سريع وجود بنياته هندي كو أسلوب بدم بو آزار كرنه نكو أسلوب بكوجم طبعا هذا إيك شو أنا بيتا intentional tort طبعا هذا جريمة كمازنة it's a serious crime جريمة كمازنة هذا حسيبي عقوبة كجلا كمازنة تيتا كرن به آنجي از جهشت منيزي كي ومرأسا ستيرن برا خيري بوكو يطرس شبي بيتن أو طرسك بيت شبي بيتن وبيت أجر هندي مثلا شوية طرسي آزاره كي بخو شيء كاتن زيان بجهيته أو بين misconduct. If you see right here it says misconduct هم بيجينين يعني شام هم كرديد بيجينه يعني کارکی خلط کارکی خراب اگر تو بیشن عربی اجازه خلط نبن بيجني جنحة يعني تشتكي بتشيكا نجلك مازنا نجريمة بس بيني جنحة كريارك خراب بس ناجهيتا جريمة ناجهيتا طوانك مازن أم بيني طوانك بتشيك. Second is harm. The next type of intentional tort. Before I talk about third type of intentional tort, I'd like to recount to you one of the accidents which I experienced. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but there was this guy who was in love with a girl, and he confessed to her about his love, but the girl rejected for whatever reason. It's a personal decision. The girl doesn't like a person, they'll tell them straightforward that they do not like them. But this person took the whole thing, the rejection, to a personal level, to a personal thing, changed it into a personal thing, and he started threatening the girl. And one of the things he said, I saw the messages sent to this girl, he said that I know the place where you stop, your stop, the place where the bus stops. He says, he told her that he knows where her stop is, so he will follow her and he will hit her with a car, either killing her. I assume he didn't really mean to kill her. He meant to harm her personally or physically. Again, so this is what is known as intentional tort. And I told the girl, we can take this person to court, but there will be repercussions. Your family, if they find out about this, then who knows what will happen to this kid. He was a grown up person. He was a grown man. He wasn't someone who's young, but still describe him as a kid because of his behavior. ایک شو حالتا کو بیرم تیتم بری چند تکیه که چک ایکی داخوزا اوی نیجه کربو اوی کچکه رفض کربو اوی کسی را بکره مسئله که شخصی استغرامه که خلط یش قصتا چه کربو و رساله تهدیدی بو فرا کربون ایک شو شو گود بوی از ظالم کتر جیوه در راستی چه کستراته از دی سوریل تدم الویری طبعا اوه بینی intentional tort اوه يعني عمدية محاولة كتن زيانك زيان بخشك شاب جهنتي يا كسايتي يا جستي ولو هذا خطر جلك كا مقولتيجي يعني هذا بين محكمة في حالة ده هف كسي هني شيء بيتن يعني حتى عقوبة بجيته استجنيجيك راستا عقفتنا بس باني تهديده it's threatening تهديد يعني threatening. Okay, let's carry on. What about harm to property? I should make sure I do not take too much time explaining this because I've already explained many of the topics in unintentional tort. زي هيفي دارم كواز جالك دريج أنا كم شيء جالك جوات شتام من بالي كانوا كبحثي كربون unintentional tort ده. Harm to property أو كتو زياني بجهنية مالو ملكين كساكي property مالو ملكين. In this case, let's suppose you have a house and I vandalize the house by painting the wall or writing something on the wall which is not pleasant and I haven't taken consent for doing so. بنا ايش وقتها كو مثلا انت ديواري مالته اسراب مسبخ كم اسراب عندك نفيسين على سر شيء كم هس رابم تشتكي بكم بيكو رخصة في حالتي ده أفاجي هر نفسي ما بابتية intentional يا عمدية intentional tort ديف ده auto accidents اگر دایی مسئله سیاری نه اگر عمدن تفیه که توی کیب دعمینی بری کنه کم بحثی کری توی حالت ده نفسی تشتیجیک او دبیته یا intentional tort اهمال عمدی کود بیته اگری زیانه okay? It's also part of intentional tort law and the person will be under civil litigation civil litigation or will be faced with civil litigation civil litigation يعني او كودي كاس شيتا محكمة يعني برنا كسي بو محكمة آنكو معاملين كسي ببنا دادگهي يعني كو كسي بيتا دادگه كرن civil litigation يعني كاس بيتا دادگه كرن as you can see it says civil so these cases are because it doesn't involve murder or killing they are treated or dealt with by the civil court not the other courts which deal with serious crimes like killing and so on اف جوری تانیج و جریمه تانیل کیش جورا محکمه تعامل جلت تکرن جل محکمه مدنی سر دلیل جلت تکرن final word here do not forget intentional tort is distinguished from unintentional by means of intent شبير نكا او تشتي فرق ما بين intentional tort و unintentional او كو نيت قصد تيدا هبيتن اگر قصد تيدا هبيت بيتا intentional اگر قصد تيدا هبيتن or deliberate يعني عن قصد يهوتي كرن intend يعني ما بست ويكاسيو بي هي ما بست زيان بخشينيه ما بست زيانيه او توي حالة تجده هر نفس تشتيان بيجينه intentional tort يعني إهماله بشتقو هاويتنا بقصدي بومرما زيان جهاندنه Thank you very much for paying attention. I'm going to send you this passage for you to translate and I bid you all